Oi, oi, I'm going to be talking bollocks today. So, what's on today's bollock agenda, I hear you asking? Let's talk about consciousness. What is consciousness? In a standard manner of thinking, consciousness is what our brain does, innit? I think, therefore I am. What that bloke said. I can never remember if it's Socrates or who's the other one? I don't know, it's gone. But him, the guy that said that. So the question is, without consciousness, does anything exist? I mean, yeah, stuff probably would exist, to be fair, even without consciousness. Like rocks and trees and shit. Talking of trees, obviously, it goes back to the age-old question of, if a tree falls in the forest, nobody's around to hear it, does it still make a noise? I'd actually like to change that a little bit. So here goes. Oh, what's my best stab at this going to be? If a tree falls in the forest, in fact, fuck the forest off. If a tree falls in the middle of space, uh, and there's no being around to witness it, first of all, does it still fall? And second of all, does the tree even exist? Well, it fucking does now, because you've just thought about it. So if we think of something, does that mean that we're putting it in existence somewhere else, like in an alternate dimension? I don't really know how to explain that further. It's all just one big mind fuck, really. Because then you could sit there and go, well, yeah, of course, the tree sort of exists because something else is going to witness it, regardless if you're there or not. But then comes the other question of, are we just one big collective consciousness? Each being witnessing or, seeing the universe in our own different way from a different perspective or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a scientist either. But anyway, let's continue. There are many things that align with consciousness. Let's go with something like, let's jump in at the deep end and let's go with Schrodinger's cat. Some of you might know this, some of you might not know it. Schrodinger's cat was, let me get this right. It was something to do with the bloke called Schrodinger. And he thought about putting a cat in a box with like a device in the box that when it set off after a certain time, fucking hell, I balls this up, and I. Something to do with this vial goes off that's got something in it like poison, and then you don't know after that point until you open a box if the cat is dead or not. So it gets given what's called a superposition, superposition, where the cat is both dead and alive until it's measured again, i.e., you open the box and find out. Which I think, in some way, shape, or form, that kind of links in with consciousness, don't it, a little bit? Till you open the box, the cat is both dead and alive. Because it is. And I know, obviously, in the realm of physics, the cat's either dead or alive. It's one or the other. But then I suppose is it I don't know if it's classed as metaphysics or something else, quantum mechanics or something. I think it's quantum mechanics. The cat is both dead and alive because it is, because you can't determine it either way. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that consciousness needs to be there in order to pick up on certain things, but also physics is just a fucking complete minefield. And I think that's why you've got quantum physics and quantum mechanics and stuff like that at play as well, because it's all just fucking mental. So the way that we can look at this, right, is you exist and you see things through your eyes, and this is your world. Like, this is, well, it's your universe in all rights. You're kind of living in this universe as you, and you're witnessing everything that's going on around you. But also, you can use your imagination to fucking like make things up. Like, you can imagine that you could sit there and imagine that there's a cat outside on the street right now, and it might not be there when you look out there, but you've just fucking imagined that in your head. Like, I know that you can picture things from memory, so you can look out on the street and you can imagine your street because you know what your street looks like because you've seen it before. But for you to like copy and paste a fucking cat in there, that's madness. Like, your brain's like fucking Photoshop or a really good video editor or something. I don't know. But the thing is that when we do something like that, we can fucking change it to however we want. So I'll tell you what. Let me give you another example. There was this guy. I think he was a rapper in the 90s, called KRS-One, and there's a video of him on YouTube speaking about like spirituality and stuff like that and consciousness. And one of his very famous things that he said was, let me think. It was along the lines of he had like a like an image of the energy drink called Rockstar, right? He had a little picture of that, like the logo thing, and he says to his audience, he says, "We're gonna picture this in our mind, and we're gonna say it to ourselves." And he's holding this thing up, and anyway, I don't know, can't remember if he counts down from 3 or something, and then he goes, "Okay, think of it in your head." So it'd be like me sitting here and saying to you, "Okay, in a minute, we're gonna picture in our heads, or in our consciousness, sorry, should I say, we're gonna picture a rainbow-coloured cat, and its name is Rainbow Shit." Say that to yourself and imagine that rainbow cat now. And his point was, what voice is that in your head that you can't hear with your ears, but you can hear it within your own self? Also, if you close your eyes and imagine it, how are you imagining that if you've never seen it before? So, like, I get it. Once again, it's the memory thing. You can take an image of a cat, and your brain can be a bit like Photoshop or like a video editor, and it can edit those things in. But the problem that I've got is, without seeing it physically, without seeing it in the physical 3D world, how does that exist? Like, so anyway, KRS-One put this out there, and he kind of shocked the audience a little bit, and it kind of shocked me a little bit because I like to think of myself as quite a bit of a I used to be quite a like a skeptical man, very atheistic, didn't believe in all that rubbish about the church and God and stuff like that. But then obviously you get to hear certain things, and it gets your brain ticking. This being one of those things because um, when you hear and see stuff like that kind of video, those kind of videos, it's a bit like, oh, actually, okay, I know what my voice sounds like because I can hear myself talking, but also I've heard it on recordings, so I know what my voice sounds like, but I don't know what this voice is inside my head. I don't know what that voice is. I don't know where it comes from. I don't even know who it is, apart from me saying, well, it's me, obviously. But this voice that's randomly coming out, is it, is it the thing that we all know as God?